Now, hello everybody, my name is Christian, and welcome back to Skycast. I've already tried to record this video 3 times, and each time I tried to record it, for some reason there wasn't any audio, so we're trying this again. Sorry for the little delay on the videos. It took a little bit of a break, not only for the fact that I needed it, for the fact that I was sick, still sick, so we're going to try this again. Sorry for the delay once again, and let's get right into it. Now, the National Weather Service has highlighted a enhanced risk of severe weather for today through portions of Ohio into portions of Pennsylvania, slight risk through portions of West Virginia, marginal risk stretching up into New York, portions of the New England. We do also have a general thunderstorm threat over here towards the West Coast. This is not expected to be anything too crazy, thus the reason it's just a general thunderstorm. For the East Coast, though, this is not going to be a tornado-driven threat for the most part, but we do have a possibility for there to be tornadoes. 5% through portions of Ohio and Pennsylvania, 2% stretching up down into West Virginia, up into New York. The wind threat for this is going to be the main threat. With a 30% where we're seeing the enhanced, and then that hail threat is going to be 15% with a little significant tag towards here in Pennsylvania. If we scroll down, severe thunderstorms should develop late this afternoon in a narrow corridor across the upper Ohio Valley into Pennsylvania and the vicinity surrounding. Damaging winds should be the main threat, so you do have a possibility for there to be wind gusts in excess 50, 60, maybe even 70 knots, mile an hour, I mean. Severe hail and perhaps a couple of tornadoes also appear possible as this activity spreads southeastward into the evening. And you can pause to the video to read the hypnosis if you would like. Now, tomorrow is when things get interesting. The National Weather Service has highlighted multiple areas of severe weather. One enhanced being Texas up into Oklahoma, the other one being Kansas up into Nebraska, and then slight risks, including a widespread patent through portions of South Dakota all the way down to Texas. We also have general thunderstorm through the Ohio Valley to Mississippi Valley even. Before we reach another severe weather threat, including portions of the Virginia area, North Carolina, with a marginal slight risk of severe weather. Tornado potential is not going to be existent over towards the East Coast, but we do have a non-driven tornado threat towards where we're seeing this risk in the Central Plains. 5% through most central of the area, 2% where we're seeing that extend further with a slight risk. This is going to be mainly a hail-driven threat. You can see the 15% to the south side of this storm, as well as over here towards the East Coast, 5% extending the slight, the moderate, not the moderate, the slight, and the marginal. But once again, hail-driven threat, 30%. We do have a significant towards central portion of this threat, and then over towards the East Coast, that 15% there as well. With the summary, scattered severe thunderstorms are likely across the southern to the central Great Plains. That's a tongue twister almost. Monday, evening and night, very large hail damaging wind gusts and a few tornadic storms are possible. And you can pause to read this hypnosis if you like. Do have to scroll through it just a little bit, but you can pause to read it if you wish. If we move on to day 3, Tuesday, National Weather Service has highlighted once again another possibility for a widespread event. This is going to be more of, I would say, a tornado-driven threat, which I'll get to here in a second. But the National Weather Service has highlighted an enhanced risk through portions of Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois. A slight risk, including multiple states, anywhere from Texas, Kentucky, up into Indiana. A marginal risk stretching even further, even out to portions of South Dakota. And then a general thunderstorm risk stretching anywhere from Texas, Louisiana, North Dakota, out into portions of the Carolinas. Probabilistic of this being severe is a 30% hatched risk, where we're seeing that enhanced risk of severe weather. So we could see this to be once again more of a higher style event. This does look, in my opinion, a lot better than tomorrow, because it's kind of in its own place. It's straightforward to the point rather than tomorrow having multiple risks stretching through portions of literally everywhere. If we scroll down to the summary, scattered severe thunderstorms are likely on Tuesday into Tuesday night across a portion of the central states from the Corn Belt to the Arklatex. The most concentrated corridor of significant severe hail and tornadoes, keep in mind they did highlight tornadoes, is forecasted over southern Iowa into northern Missouri from mid-afternoon into early evening. And you can pause to read the hypnosis here if you like to. And as we move into portions of Wednesday morning, we do have more severe weather. Does include a main portion of Kentucky, Tennessee, into portions of Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. The probabilistic of this being severe is a 15% confidence, has not been upgraded to a 30%. And if you want to, you can read the discussion down here for this. Now, as we're looking on Pivotal Weather, I will move my webcam out of the way just slightly so you can see. But over here towards the eastern coast, it's not expected to be too long of an event. But this will happen in the evening hours, possibly before nighttime. But you can see the storm popping off right here and immediately disappear. That kind of just shows how quick this event will spark and then how quick it'll die off. But that will continue to move off when we move into tomorrow, where we have the low front pop up right here over portions of Colorado, Nebraska, into Kansas. And we can see that's when that's going to start sparking those severe storms. The north threat looks like it could be more of a severe threat with that, where that low front sits there. But it is possible for this event to spark, once again, tornadoes, wind, even some large to large hail. And that is for all of the areas listed. Now, eventually what will happen is that into the evening, into the overnight hours, that will eventually move off to the east. It will bring some rain, possibly that's day 2 severe threat over here towards the west to the east coast, the Ohio Valley, areas like that. Eventually that will move off, and the more storms will form back here towards the Central Plains. And with that, we have already moved out of the 1 through day 4 risk. We could possibly see some more severe potential as these storms do move through. It is pretty far out to tell, so we cannot make an estimate on that. But we do have a possibility for some severe storms over the next few days through the 19th to 20th. The 20th looking kind of cool with a good amount of storms, portions of Texas, and all the way out, stretching from Texas all the way out into the Carolinas, and that is the last run that we have availability to. Now, with the severe storms towards tomorrow, we do have a lot of shear in place. This can not only bring some fuel for tornado or tornadic storms, but can also fuel those wind gusts that are up there with these storms, bring a lot of supercells with those wind gusts. Eventually, that'll continue to move off to the east, bringing that tornado potential overall, and then we'll move through Kentucky for that day 4, the Ohio Valley, and eventually that'll move off. We do have a possibility to see a good amount of wind up here towards more storms that could spark up here. This would be towards portions of the New England states, towards Canada. But this model doesn't really show the storms. It just shows the amount of shear that's in place over the air. Now, we are about 2 o'clock right now in Eastern Standard Time, and things do seem pretty calm. We do have storms up here towards the New England states, but things do start sparking off about 5 or 6 in the afternoon, and this will be towards portions of eastern Ohio into almost all of Pennsylvania. Towards 8, 9, 10 o'clock, this will eventually move off, and then by 11 and 12, this will diminish out of the area. Like I said, pretty quick event for some of the stuff that we have seen. We'll bring a possibility if some of these can remain discreet with that. Possibility for there to be a tornado or two right here. Those wind gusts and hail will be that main concern, though. And so here we are at tomorrow on radar about 3 p.m. and we will have storms kind of start firing off towards about 6, 7 in the afternoon. Now this is expected to be somewhat of an overnight threat. You can see these storms towards the southern threat sparking off about 1, 2, 3 in the morning. So if you're in this area, make sure that you do have a way to receive alerts. Eventually 6, 7 in the morning, this will move off to the east. And this will continue to date to 2, 3 in the morning, 2, 3 in the afternoon, my bad, where we see that day 3 risk over here towards portions of Iowa into Missouri. Eventually, that'll be some convection there, could be a little bit severe. And eventually, back towards the back, we will see this area of stronger storms towards 7, 8 in the afternoon. That will be that main severe threat that we're looking at. And eventually, that'll just continue to move off to east before we move into day 4 when we have that risk in Kentucky. So besides that, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you have a way to receive alerts, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.